In the day's other news, the Pentagon announced that it will deploy more than 1,100 active duty troops to assist at 5 COVID-19 vaccination sites. Each team will consist of 222 personnel, including 80 who can administer vaccines. Senior White House COVID-19 advisor Andy Slavitt said the military's support will help expedite inoculations.
Part of this group will start to arrive in California within the next 10 days to begin operations there around February 15th, with additional vaccination missions soon to follow. The military's critical role in supporting sites will help vaccinate thousands of people per day and ensure that every American who wants a vaccine will receive one.
The Biden administration is also investing in 6 companies to boost production of at-home COVID testing kits. They hope to make more than 60 million tests available by the end of the summer. That comes as the U.S. set another grim record overnight. Daily COVID deaths topped 5,000 for the first time ever. The U.S. trade deficit surged to a 12-year high in 2020 due to pandemic disruptions. The Commerce Department reported the gap between exports and imports rose 18% last year to $679 billion. That was due in part to COVID restrictions that upended key exports of U.S. services like tourism and education. In Myanmar, hundreds of students and teachers protested today against the military coup in the largest rallies to date since the takeover. They rallied at 2 universities in Yangon. The protesters held up a 3-finger salute as a sign of resistance and carried signs with images of ribbons to symbolize civil disobedience. One teacher voiced hope the military coup would fail.
We don't want this military coup which unlawfully seized power from our elected government. We don't want anyone who steals power and then forms their own government. We are no longer going to work with them.
At least 30 people have been arrested for protesting against the coup. The military says that they will hold on to power until a new election is held in a year. Delegates from Libya's warring factions approved an interim government today to help unify the divided country. It has had 2 separate governments, one in the east and one in the west. At a United Nations forum in Geneva, they selected 4 leaders to lead Libya through the national elections in December. The North African country has been in turmoil since Muammar Gaddafi's 4-decade rule ended in 2011. Back in this country, stocks on Wall Street notched their 5th consecutive day of gains. The Dow Jones Industrial Average climbed 92 points to close at 31,148. The Nasdaq rose 78 points, and the S&P 500 added 15. And a passing to note tonight, award-winning actor Christopher Plummer died today at his home in Connecticut. During his nearly 70-year career, Plummer became known for a wide variety of roles that won him an Oscar, 2 Emmys, and a pair of Tony Awards. Jeffrey Brown looks back on some of Plummer's most iconic roles.
He was a leading Shakespearean actor throughout his life, but it was this role,
as I sound your signals, you will step forward and give your names,
as Captain Von Trapp opposite Julie Andrews in the beloved 1965 film Sound of Music, that catapulted Canadian-born Christopher Plummer to stardom. He famously disparaged the part at first, but later came to terms with it and the success it brought. Plummer went on to star in a wide range of films, from Tolstoy in The Last Station to playing the voice of the villain in the cartoon film Up. And he had an extraordinary film renaissance late in life.
I'm gay.
His role in Beginners as a man who comes out as gay after 44 years of marriage made him the oldest actor to win an Oscar at 82.
You know, my mother once predicted that I would have to wait to be a very old man before receiving recognition in our profession. She was absolutely right, of course.
He continued acting in recent years, starring in the crime thriller All the Money in the World and in the 2019 film Knives Out. Christopher Plummer died at his Connecticut home this morning after a blow to his head from a fall. He was 91 years old. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Jeffrey Brown.
And still to come on the NewsHour, COVID-19 complicates Beirut's recovery from a devastating explosion. David Brooks and Jonathan Capehart break down a packed week of politics. We remember several more of the many remarkable lives lost to COVID-19, and much more.
This is the PBS NewsHour from WETA Studios in Washington and in the West from the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism at Arizona State University.